Kerala. Somehow the BJP, much like in Tamil Nadu, despite K Annamalai doing what it takes, has not had a leg in. I'll come to you later, Vinita. Gokul Chandra. Welcome, Gokul. Long time. I hope you're well. Gokul, I want to ask you something. There is no doubt, Gokul, that this man, Rajeev Chandrasekhar, 60 years old, a technocrat, someone who's well educated, well spoken, is largely appreciated. He's someone who did succeed in putting some hindrances in the way of Dr. Shashi Tharoor. Would you agree or not?
Yeah, good evening, Sudha.
Hi.
Thanks for the opportunity. See, being a technocrat, Mr. Sam Pitroda is the biggest political technocrat we have seen in independent India. And you know his contributions to the political organization like Congress Party. So being a technocrat doesn't mean that he should be a good organization leader or a good leader who can lead the party. As far as Kerala is concerned, what RSS decide, because RSS is the backbone of BJP. BJP as such doesn't have much of the organizational capabilities. So it is RSS which is going to run the show, whoever is the president is. So it all depends on how Mr. Chandrasekhar is having a good rapport with RSS. If they have a good rapport, then Mr. Chandrasekhar can succeed to the level of what Mr. Surendran or the earlier presidents have done. More than that, see, it is a organization and a leader is as good as the organization. And Mr. Chandrasekhar, being an outsider, I will still
But
underline
but
with
but even
bold
but
that he is
Gokul,
an outsider.
when they
I'll
tried,
come back to you.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll come to your point. I got your point. I guessed your point. Regarding Trivandrum, you're talking about Trivandrum. See, again, being a UDF supporter, I would say something very clearly. If it had been not Mr. Chandrasekhar in Trivandrum, if BJP could have put up a better candidate in Trivandrum, then BJP would have won the seat. I am putting it on record.
That again, Gokul. I mean, wow. You just now said that Mr. Dr. Tharoor could have been vanquished if they had put up a better candidate there.
No, I'm not talking about the word vanquished. I don't want to bring that word vanquished here. So, if it had been not Mr. Chandrasekhar, because Mr. Chandrasekhar during election, what I had witnessed is it took much time for him to get into the groove, get close to the cadres, and take the cadres along. That was the biggest shortfall,
Okay, we will
which
not use
made
the word
BJP lose
vanquished.
to Andhra.
We will use the word defeated. Fine, I get the
Yeah,
point.
symbol defeat. Yeah, defeat.
All right, Nirmal,
It can be a symbol defeat.
he who has no affiliations but to his pen, let me come to him. Nirmal, thank you so much for joining us. Nirmal, let me now make an amalgamation, what Vinita said, what Gokul said. Now, the thing is that he's someone who can bring people together. That's what Vinita said, he's someone that's not to take away from what Mr. Surendran did. I want to ask you that all the changes that the BJP wants, consolidation, bring in younger people, bring in Muslims, bring in more women, etc., etc. I don't think, do you think that is there any way by which Mr. Rajeev Chandrasekhar can make the needle move here?
I certainly do. I mean, compared to the other leaders, I certainly believe that he can bring about a change, and it's a great opportunity for the BJP because this is a tipping point for the BJP and for Kerala. Because if you look at Christians, there was a time in the 90s and the early 2000s that we had a lot of Christian leaders: Uman Chandi, K. Mani, A.K. Anthony, P.J. Joseph. Now we don't have Christian leaders, because of which a lot of Christians are confused, and the votes have been split. They don't really like voting for the Communist Party because, as of now, they're drenched in a lot of corruption. Looking at the Congress Party, the UDF, they feel like there is a lack of leadership and a lot of inside tussle going on. So this is a great opportunity for the BJP to cash in on that opportunity and consolidate those
Nirmal, but I want you to tell me specifically. I agree with you. You said it's a great opportunity, but why? We journalists always want to know why. What is so special about Rajeev Chandrasekhar? I mean, the viewers would also be very interested in knowing, because Surendran was also doing a good job. His tenure got over and he didn't get his chance was over. I'm asking you, he's from the Nair community, he's a technocrat, he's relatively young if you go by Indian politics, but apart from that, he kept up with the with Thiruvananthapuram. He did not disappear after he lost. But what else do you think you'll attribute to him that he can make the needle move, Nirmal?
A couple of comparisons. One, I'll compare him with the other front runners.
Sure.
If you look at MT Suresh or Surendran, Shobha Surendran, those people have made statements in the past that have largely been considered communal, which has actually shut down the open eye of both Christians as well as educated voters. They feel like they are trying to divide and rule here, whereas Rajeev Chandrasekhar has been more polished, exactly as you said. I mean, look at Shashi Tharoor, 2019 to 24. To be honest, as a Keralite, I would say he has underperformed in Trivandrum. But despite underperforming in Trivandrum, he has won on four times in a row. And the reason for that is, one, he's an academically accomplished person, very polished person, does not make unnecessary statements about either political parties or any religious community. And I think the same goes, although not exactly like Tharoor, almost the same goes with Rajeev Chandrasekhar. That will make a difference among educated voters. Two, I think there is a trust factor as well. If you look at his personal life, he has succeeded as an engineer. Despite not knowing anything about business, he has succeeded as a businessman. Despite not having any political background, he has succeeded really well so far in politics. So people believe such people, they have a trust factor. That's one. Two, in comparison with the other front runners, he has not gone for extremely violent statements or any wild statements that could shut down the open eye of the other voters. Those are the two reasons that I think specifically will benefit Rajeev Chandrasekhar.
Vinita, let me come to you. You know, the party was riddled with factionalism. I gave you an example of Mr. Krishnadas and Surendran. But even later, we saw factionalism rearing its ugly head. We talk about Palagat, where there were open fights and which was fought, in the realm of social media, etc. I want to ask you that what is this new mantra that Rajeev Chandrasekhar has? Because he has to clean up his own house first, which I am sure he can, considering he's somebody who apparently has played a role in bringing warring factions of leaders or let's say bishops or whoever together on the same table to say, let's talk, let's not fight. But I want you to tell us, how is that that's a very important problem that is facing the BJP in Kerala. How is that going to get solved?
Right. So as we were just discussing, Rajeev Chandrasekhar brings with him fresh energy. It's going beyond factionalism, beyond caste, beyond anything. He represents a very neutral, positive, optimistic, and forward-thinking vision. And he's proven himself, as I've just said in the past conversation, that he's proven himself in different roles, and even the other panelists have said so. And his performance as a minister has been remarkable. I had the opportunity to meet him many times when he was in the when he was a minister of IT, and what he asked me is, as a head of the women's wing of BJP, what is your roadmap for the next 365 days? Break it down into milestones and bring it to me. So that's the kind of execution vision that he has. So he brings with him, he's not like a Sam Pitroda of the Congress, definitely not. He's not just a talker or an intellectual person who just brings intellectualism to the table. He brings with him intellectual power, execution power. He brings with him also policy gravitas. And he's been a reformer all through, very robust performer, reformer, and as you just said, a troubleshooter of sorts, bringing in all stakeholders together. And we will see that happening now on the ground. We can see his management, expertise at play now. And this is going to take some time because BJP has been in a different kind of a mold all along. So it'll take some time. Change always takes time. But with Rajeev Chandrasekhar, there would also be speed at the same time because he's a very restless performer. And he will see that there is, a performance on the ground. And what he said today was also, he's mandated to, convert a lot of, I wouldn't use the word convert, but incentivize a lot of youth to join the BJP with his vision and with his forward-looking agenda for the state.
I appreciate what you said, but the point is that I said at the beginning of this year, when important changes were being initiated in the party, and you being the women's head, I want to ask you, insofar as inducting women is concerned, maybe you've made some kind of changes. But overall, can you tell me that one big change which is showing on the flag of the BJP that we did this? Because most of the time, this is all lip service. Nothing comes to fruition. So I'm asking you, is there any big change that you've made? We are sitting in March now.
So the kind of empowerment that the BJP has given to women, I think it's been remarkable beyond all other parties. Even in Kerala now, recent district president elections also, we have about 30 and odd women presidents as district presidents elected, because we have administratively divided the whole state into three districts each. So about 70 districts, we have about 30 district presidents of as women, and we also had fielded many women candidates in the recent elections and in the Lok Sabha elections. And Rajeev Chandrasekhar also, he's very forward-looking, and I'm sure he's going to be very a pro-women, and he's a professional, so he looks at everybody as a professional, I'm sure. And so it's not going to be a traditional reservation for women kind of a thing. He's going to be empowering women. It's going to be women-led development under Rajeev.
Right.